Imagine living in a world where everyone knew the truth. The Earth was the center of everything, and the sun, the moon, and all the stars revolved around us. To question this wasn't just being wrong. It was heresy, a crime against God and man. This was the world of Galileo Galilei, a man born in Pisa, Italy, in 1564, whose unstoppable curiosity and some cleverly crafted tools would end up shattering this cosmic order for good. Galileo initially set out to study medicine, but his heart wasn't in it. He quickly realized his true passion lay in mathematics and physics. His genius for observation showed itself early on. Legend has it that while sitting in the Pisa Cathedral, he watched a lamp swinging back and forth. He noticed something incredible. No matter how wide the swing, the time it took to complete a full arc was always the same. He timed it against his own pulse. This simple observation about the pendulum was revolutionary. It marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to a radical new idea, testing theories with real-world experiments, not just relying on ancient philosophical debates. This was the birth of a new way of thinking, a method that would put him on a collision course with the most powerful institution on Earth. Galileo soon earned a reputation as a brilliant, but also very argumentative, professor. He had a habit of questioning everything, especially the long-held teachings of the ancient Greek philosopher, Aristotle, whose ideas had dominated Western thought for nearly 2,000 years. One of Aristotle's key claims was that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones. It seems logical, right? But Galileo wasn't satisfied with logic alone. The famous story, though possibly a legend, paints a perfect picture of his approach. It's said that he climbed the Leaning Tower of Pisa and, in front of a crowd of professors and students, dropped 2 weights of different sizes. They hit the ground at the exact same time. Whether it happened exactly like that or not, the point was clear. Galileo proved, through demonstration, that gravity affects all objects equally, regardless of their mass. This was a direct public challenge to 2 millennia of accepted doctrine. But his most game-changing work was yet to come. In 1609, he heard rumors of a curious Dutch invention, a spyglass that made distant objects appear closer. Galileo didn't just try to copy it. He immediately understood its potential and built his own, far more powerful version. But instead of pointing his new telescope at faraway ships or enemy armies, he did something no one had seriously done before. He pointed it at the night sky. In that moment, he transformed a simple novelty into the most powerful scientific instrument the world had ever seen. And with it, he launched the age of modern astronomy. What Galileo saw through that telescope sent shockwaves through the intellectual world. Each discovery was a direct blow to the established, perfect, and Earth-centered universe. First, he looked at the moon. Aristotle had taught that all celestial bodies were perfect, smooth spheres. But Galileo saw something different. He saw a world scarred with craters, rugged mountains, and vast, dark plains, imperfect, and surprisingly similar to Earth. The heavens, it turned out, were not so flawless after all. Then, he turned his telescope to the planet Jupiter. And there, he made a discovery that would change everything. He saw 4 tiny points of light circling the giant planet. He tracked them night after night, realizing they were moons, orbiting Jupiter just as our moon orbits the Earth. This was the smoking gun. It was concrete, visible proof that not everything in the universe revolved around the Earth. This observation provided powerful support for the controversial and heretical theory of Nicolaus Copernicus, who had proposed decades earlier that the sun, not the Earth, was the center of our system. Galileo didn't keep these discoveries to himself. He published his findings in a small but explosive book called Sidereus Nuncius, or the Starry Messenger. He was essentially showing the world a new universe, one that was dynamic, complex, and didn't conform to the old rules. He argued that to understand creation, we should study the natural world itself, famously declaring, "The book of nature is written in the language of mathematics." For Galileo, science and observation were the keys to unlocking God's handiwork. But as Galileo's fame grew, so did the number and power of his enemies. By championing the sun-centered, or heliocentric model, he was directly contradicting the Church's interpretation of Holy Scripture, which seemed to place the Earth firmly at the center of creation. For years, the tension built. The Church warned him to stop teaching these ideas as fact. But Galileo, convinced by the evidence of his own eyes, couldn't stay silent. He published another book, Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, which openly debated the two models, and made the Church's position look foolish. This was the last straw. In 1633, the Roman Inquisition summoned the now elderly and frail Galileo to Rome to stand trial for heresy. Faced with the threat of torture and imprisonment, the old man was broken. He was forced to get on his knees and publicly recant everything his telescope had shown him. He was forced to deny that the sun was the center and that the earth moved. Legend whispers that as he rose to his feet, he muttered under his breath, "And yet, it moves." Galileo spent the final years of his life under house arrest, eventually going blind. But it was too late to stop his ideas. His books had spread across Europe, and his methods had laid the groundwork for a new era of science. The genie was out of the bottle. Galileo's insistence on systematic experimentation, mathematical analysis, and direct observation became the foundation of the scientific method we still use today. He died in 1642, the very same year that Isaac Newton, the man who would build upon his work to define the laws of gravity and motion, was born. Though silenced by the authorities of his time, Galileo's courage and his discoveries ensured that our place in the cosmos would be understood forever. He remains, without a doubt, the father of modern science. So, what do you think was Galileo's greater discovery? Proving how things fall, which laid the foundation for mechanics, or proving how the planets move, which redefined astronomy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story of courage and discovery as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the people who changed our world. Thanks for watching.